Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim, who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Yakalia, and I'm from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp, and this video is about this precept right here in the book of Job, chapter 13, and verse 15. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. And who is this referring to? Who's the he? Yahweh Shemishai. Alright. And I'll read it again. Though he slay me, though Yahweh Shemishai slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. And what is this saying? It's saying that we receive judgment from Yahweh Shemishai every single day. And sometimes the judgment can be ramped up to a very, very high level. Alright, an extremely high level. And though we are members of the hopeful elect and we are trying our best to walk the best that we can while being in this flesh, though we do know that being in this flesh, we are going to go off regardless. The thing is that we are still subject to the judgment from Yahweh Shemishai, right? We have all lived several lives before, and we've lived several lives in this flesh, and doing this work doesn't make us exempt from the fierce anger of the Lord, right? And what does that say to you? You know, what it says to me is, of course, fear Yahweh Shemishai, because, you know, the difference between those of us that are in this truth, which is mercy, first and foremost, from Yahweh Shemishai, and those that are not, is that we simply have this truth, but we are just as filthy, and we have done just as many foul and abominable things as those who don't have this truth. And we're still subject to judgment, man. And brothers go through all kinds of judgment, whether physical judgment, severe physical judgment, or severe mental judgment, spiritual judgment. It can come in all kinds of different forms from Yahweh Shemishai, right? But the thing is, will you maintain your own ways before him? Will you continue to have faith in Yahweh Shemishai despite whatever it is that you're going through? And it's a test of your faith. You know, Job and his story, he lost everything, but yet he maintained his ways. In contrast, his wife, you know, being attached to him, she lost everything too. But what did she do? She cursed the Most High. And we're going to all be put in situations where it's unfavorable, right? And this slaying isn't a literal slay of to kill. It's a slay like in our daily lives where we're suffering very greatly. You know, we don't win and we lose things. And yeah, there's mercy from the Most High where we're able to get through. But a lot of the times, we're suffering, man. We're enduring, we're being patient, you know? And it's all about keeping that faith. You know, are you going to, when you face certain judgment from Yahweh Shemishai, you know, Yahweh forbid, would you be one of those to curse Yahweh Shemishai, knowing full well that you're supposed to receive judgment? I mean, we all are supposed to receive any kind of judgment at any time. Yahweh Shemishai can judge us in an infinite amount of ways. You know, we've done wrong things too, whether outside of this truth or in this truth, right? So with wisdom, we know that. So that wisdom should aid you in being like, well, you got jacked up. What is it for? Sometimes it could be for something you did in a previous life. And sometimes it could be for something that you're doing right now. And, the Lord is, like, okay, well, this needs to stop. And you get judged in a specific way. And then when you do some self-reflection, you're able to see, every man has his spiritual walk. And when you look at your own walk and you take a good look and you're like, okay, yeah, that's really individual responsibility for each man. But also, it doesn't have to be something that you're necessarily doing. Sometimes the Lord just wants to test you the way that Job was tested, where to see if you're going to maintain your own ways. And we're heading into a time where this faith, this trial is going to heighten to the highest level, because we're heading into Jacob's trouble. Oh, and by the way, before we go into Jacob's trouble, anything that we go through is a part of our baptism. The baptism has two sides to it. It has, that where it says the washing and cleansing, which is not a literal washing and cleansing, but it's that washing away of our old ways and that old man, and being reborn again through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemishai, and walking in that walk the best that we can, right? And hope to, right? But there is also the other part, the fiery part about it, being a part of this walk as a hopeful elect, as a prophet of Yahweh Shemishai. We do face very, very, very severe trials, man. Though it is a light affliction, as the scriptures do say, when you're in that moment, this flesh will make it feel as if it's the worst possible thing that can be happening to you. But these fiery trials is an important part of our walk. It is a part of our baptism, to purge certain things away from us. I believe they call it the dross, the impure metals away from us, heading towards the kingdom of Yahweh Shemishai. Yahweh Shemishai is cleaning us up for, Lord willing, that day where we are delivered, that we would be acceptable at that time of deliverance, which will be after Jacob's trouble. So now we can talk about Jacob's trouble. That trial that we will be facing in Jacob's trouble will be very severe. It's going to be much worse than anything we've experienced before. And right now we are learning very valuable lessons and the mercy of Yahweh Shemishai through those lessons, to maintain our faith through whatever it is that we're going through, right? And it's going to be that ultimate test, and it will be a plethora of things, an infinite amount of things that can happen during that time. Of course, one thing will be the persecution that we will be facing, and losing even more than we've already lost. We can lose even more things, right? So that test is coming, man. That trial is coming. And as the scripture says, Lord willing, we shall maintain our ways. We will maintain that faith in Yahweh Shemishai, that love for Yahweh Shemishai, that fear, right? That fear, man, of Yahweh Shemishai, man. Maintain that in those days, and Lord willing, get through it, to be saved in whichever way it comes, whether it is by being beheaded, maintaining faith up to that point, or being delivered by a chariot. Whatever it is, man, we maintain our ways towards Yahweh Shemishai, the ways of righteousness, etc. Okay? It's very important to remember, no matter what it is that we're going through. And yes, sometimes you will fail. Okay? In the moment, you may fail, but you got to pick yourself up and do better the next time and put in an effort. Okay, sometimes you'll be in that moment and you'll get through it because you would have remembered your past lessons. But you know, just pushing forward, man. That's what it is. So with that, I'd like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shemi Shai, Shemar Kodesh, What Abad, Babal, Shalom.